if our currency is unsound and progressively getting less and less sound, okay, then it's inevitable. I mean, you can see the writing on the wall. Everybody can. Yet we go along with it because people say, hey, I get a cost of living adjustment. I don't care. Debase the currency as much as you want as long as I get cost of living adjustments. Oh, you don't get a cost of living adjustment? That's your problem. You're on your own. That's the way it works. And again, it's that mentality of being, we're rendered into their image and likeness as elitists, as just evil people at heart, that we're not loving, we're not caring about the welfare of our fellow human beings. But that's antithetical to the teachings of Christ, who said, whatsoever you do or fail to do for the least of these, you do or fail to do for me. And this thing there's no hope in sight. I mean, if we don't grab the bull by the horn and just say, enough's enough with this cost of living tax. Stop clipping our currency. Stop destroying the worth of our money. We want this ship to turn around, man. This is the only hope for us to keep any semblance of cohesion in our land, socially, politically, and economically speaking. Okay, do you understand? But where is it going to end? What's going to happen here? And people don't even know who they're fighting. I mean, we've got to really understand that the conservatives have some good values and precepts, and the liberals do as well. And the devil is in the detail. That doesn't want you to figure that out and say, we got a lot more in common in just fighting for our overall freedom. Can we agree here at these really foundational, paramount issues that we want to be happy? Constitution, point to the Constitution. It says you have a right, and I will go further. I will say we have an obligation to future generations, to this generation, to fight this good fight for happiness. To be truly happy, you must be truly free. And what does that mean? To be truly free. It means to be absolutely free, in my mind, utterly free, completely free, totally free, unequivocally free. Okay, that's it. There's no equivocation here. You're either free or you're not. And if you're not economically free, you're not free. And that's where, if sound economic policies would lead to that gradually, we would reach that stage through stability. And you notice anytime the economy has any semblance of stability, that these people want to come in and destabilize it any way they can. They got to keep the joint wrecked up, man. You can't get on your foot. You're feeding. They need you off balance. They need all of us off balance as much as possible, disempowered, confused, okay, stupid, ignorant, disempowered. That's it. That's what they want. They want us to be disempowered. And the way they can do that is through division. And they're very good at that. I mean, it's very easy to do with a little bit of propaganda. They just confuse the issue, like throwing a glob of mud into a clear lake. They do the same thing to us in our society. To think, oh, well, you know what, my enemy is everywhere. I mean, it's other people, other colors. What are they thinking? It's other generations. It's other genders. It's LGBT. It's, they hate me, or it's the animal rights people, or, it's just reached absurdist proportions. And then, it's against the law in America to discriminate in any way, but we can openly and overtly discriminate, outrightly discriminate, politically speaking. And, that has not taught us, the lesson we need to learn, and that is tolerance, and hear each other out. And if somebody's a liar, they'll be exposed as a liar. But if they really believe what they believe, then it's your duty, who believes the other way, to convince them otherwise in a way that's palatable, in a way that's effective, in a way that's going to work to really fix things so that we come together for the greater purpose of freedom. Because at the top of the list of the components, the elements, the ingredients to be happy is freedom. And that has to be done through economic policies. This is where our social well-being is going to come from. And that's for everybody. That doesn't discriminate. The social well-being is for everybody. Political well-being, that's for everybody. I'm not the guy that's going to withhold anything from anybody. Are you? Is he? Who are those that would do it? That we know there's plenty of them that would do it, and in great high positions of power in this current world system, this beastly world system that is rancid at this point. It's rotten, and we all know it's rotten to the core. And this pyramid scheme of an economy cannot go on forever in perpetuity. We can't have it. We can't have Zimbabwe in slow motion forever. We know that the levee's going to break. It's just a matter of time. We don't know how it's going to play itself out. I pray for God to be gentle, but there's a lot of people that need to be shocked out of their stupidity and understand, look, his welfare is your welfare. Her welfare is your welfare. End of story. And if you don't fundamentally understand that, if you're an ungodly person at your core, that's your decision. But just remember the implications thereof, the ramifications you're going to face by not being found worthy to inherit a renewed earth, a better world. Okay, because like I said, one way or another, sooner or later, God's will is going to be done. And what is God's will? That the captives be set free. And who are the captives? The captives are you and I. They're all of us. So, whether you know it or not, you're a captive too. And if you think, yeah, but I succeeded and I found a way out to freedom, to financial freedom, and you got to find your own way out. And I'm sorry it keeps getting harder and harder and harder, but that's your problem, not mine. So you try to divorce yourself from the welfare of your fellow human being. And that's an ungodly trait. And you will gain the reward of an ungodly man, woman, person, human being. And, you got to go to that place with the hypocrites, the gnashing of teeth that's not fit for the righteous, that don't deserve to be there. And the righteous need to be separated from these people. These people need to be separated from the righteous because it is improper that God would tolerate his servants, his friends, to be bullied around by these evil doers forever. Okay, that would be a totally wholly unjust God. And worse and more, that's the name of the game. That's what God's going to allow, an unreadable history book that's just so bizarre and so oblivious to anything that resembles, the good being the more powerful force in the universe, the light being the stronger than the darkness, right being stronger than the wrong. That's out the window. No, that's never going to happen. That's all our history is going to read forevermore. Well, I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that. I know the good guy is going to win because knowledge, like a snowball rolling down a hill, it accumulates. It increases over time. So what we're looking at now in history is an accumulation over thousands of years. People are empowered to speak truth to power in a way that they've never done. That's unprecedented. And every day it's exponential. That power keeps increasing, that God's endowing and imbuing his friends with the power to speak this truth that's irrefutable to the evildoers all around the world. And there's nothing they can do about it. They're like the Wicked Witch of the West. You're throwing water on them, and you're raining on their parade. You're bumming out their trip, man, and they can't be so overt about their stuff. And as they have to hide and get more clandestine, more surreptitious and sneaky and diabolical and cunning, then they're driven underground more and more. So that's how they lose their power, because acting out in the open under the pretense of being altruistic, like this whole climate thing. Okay, we can agree the climate's changing, but it's God and Mother Nature doing it. Okay, if you think it's humans, then go kill yourself. I mean, that's your prerogative. If you think it's human caused, and certainly you can't be a hypocrite and use more energy and then say, I got to use less, and that's, the problem, that we got to stop global warming. Do you understand? And that's just one example. That's how these people operate, the depopulation that's out there. All these same people that say, we need open borders and everything, and all you people are a-holes, you're anti-American, you're un-American, you're like those that would grab the Japanese during World War II and put them in internment camps. Okay, they want to conflate and lump you all in with that. And these are the same ones that, strongly promote, abortion on demand and Planned Parenthood and a woman's right to choose that's unassailable, that's, sacrosanct, right? But you know what? If you're mean to these children, to these parents that bring, the cartels and the coyotes bringing these kids in, and God knows what's going on with child trafficking, and If you want to just let that go on and unabated, and we shouldn't have to track these people, know what they're doing, don't protect the labor laws, the rights of the people of America, and let the contractors hire these people undocumented and pay them half of what's legal by law, which is ridiculous. Even 10, $15 an hour nowadays in California is, you're getting food stamps probably. Definitely you're having to get housing assistance if you got a family to take care of and you need more than a studio apartment. Okay, for sure you're going to need to get Section 8 or some other kind of housing assistance just to survive, to exist as a family in California now. So that's a state of affairs, but these people are saying, no, keep going with that status quo. That's what we want.